Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 26th of June, 2024. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, inflation rose from 3.6% to 4% in the year to the end of May, sparking fears of a rate rise sometime this year. While the consensus view remains that the next move in rates is down, the Australian Bureau of Statistics data released this morning certainly unsettled markets. The S&P ASX 200 was poorly ahead of the inflation number and then dropped even further to its low for the day. By the close, the benchmark had recovered some ground and finished down 0.7% to 7,783 points. The interest rate sensitive sectors were hit hardest, led lower by real estate companies. Scentre Group fell 3%, while Goodman Group was down nearly 2%. The surprise spike hit some of the consumer discretionary stocks as well. Collins Foods, owner of KFC and Taco Bell, it fell nearly 9%, and Harvey Norman was off 8%. Eagers Automotive dropped 3.6%, while leader JB Hi-Fi ended down more than 3%. The banks ended lower, with Commonwealth Bank and ANZ both off 1.5%. Wesfarmers, QBE and South32 all fell more than 2%. You get the gist. The energy and tech stocks did best. Story number 2, Australians are leaving the mortgage market in unusually large numbers, presumably due to ongoing high interest rates, while those with mortgages are increasingly taking advantage of offset accounts. That's the findings of the Reserve Bank, which has been looking at the mortgage discharge rate, which measures people either paying off their homes or getting out of the market. It's running at about $40 billion per quarter, while the amount of new loans is running at $80 billion per quarter. The ratio of discharges to new loans is sitting at 50%, and that's the highest rate since at least 2009. The Reserve Bank says, taken together, the figures suggest that highly leveraged investors, those with plenty of debt, and homeowners are selling and, on average, being replaced with buyers with a larger deposit. Story number 3, Seven West Media has announced big changes at the top of the organisation as it struggles to turn around its ailing profits. The head of sales, Kurt Burnett, the marketing chief, Melissa Hopkins, and the sports chief, Lewis Martin, have all left the company. It follows the departure of CEO James Warburton, legal chief Bruce McWilliam, and news chief Craig McPherson 2 months ago. Basically, everyone is out, except the former Chief Financial Officer, now CEO, Jeff Howard. Seven, along with competitor Nine Entertainment, is struggling with lower free-to-air audiences and a cyclical downturn in ad spend. Unlike Nine, which owns Stan, Seven doesn't have a streaming service to rely upon. Story number 4, the world is headed for food wars as geopolitical tensions and climate change push countries into conflict over waning supplies, according to one of the world's largest agricultural commodity traders. Sonny Verghese, the boss of Olam Group, one of the world's biggest agricultural trading houses, said many wars have been fought over oil, but now there'll be bigger wars over food and water. He warned that trade barriers imposed by governments seeking to shore up domestic food stocks had exacerbated food inflation. According to a report in the Financial Times, a proliferation of non-tariff trade barriers in 2022, 1,266 from 154 countries by Verghese's count, had created an exaggerated demand-supply imbalance. Wealthier countries were building up surpluses of strategic commodities like food, leading to exaggerated demand and, in turn, higher prices. In story number 5, German car-making giant Volkswagen will invest up to $5 billion in a joint venture with US-based EV maker Rivian. Rivian is a rival to Tesla. Its share price jumped almost 50% after the announcement was made overnight. The two companies have agreed to share technology. Founded in 2009, Rivian has not yet made a quarterly profit. According to a report on BBC, VW has come under pressure from rivals like Tesla and China's BYD as it tries to make the shift from fossil fuel-powered vehicles into EVs. Separately this week, Tesla said it would recall most of its 11,000 Cybertrucks sold in the US over issues with their windscreen wipers and exterior trim. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 26th of June, 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.